that's weakening this nation. All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth. I don't think I'd like to wear a pair of underwear made out of sackcloth, I can tell you that. And horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all their faces, and baldness upon all their heads. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. And then he says, listen to this. I want to tell you what, I tell you what, this is it right here. Now I want everybody listen to me now. Ezekiel 16:28, thou hast played the whore also with the Assyrians, because thou wast unsatiable. Means you can't be satisfied. Mick Jagger. Yea, thou hast played the harlot with them, and yet couldst not be satisfied. Thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornication in the land of Canaan unto Chaldea, and yet thou wast not satisfied herewith. How weak is thine heart, saith the Lord, seeing thou doest all these things, the work of an imperious, whorish woman. Babylon, Mystery Babylon, weakens this nation. Lucifer is using her because she is a mother of harlots, perversions, unsatiable lusts that reign and rule. How many politicians get caught in it? How many Secret Service agents, people in power, pastors, church leaders, people everywhere sitting, looking at stuff on the internet, chatting with people from different places so they can hook up with them later. Church people doing it.
Uh-oh. Hang on. I just lost my square. Are we still there? Good deal. Unsatiable, unsatisfied. Something that is weakening our nation. You know what strengthens America? Families. Dads and moms in a marital bond raising children. That strengthens a nation. Lucifer weakens a nation by destroying the marital bond. So we have in certain sectors, and some people say, oh, you're saying, I know what you're saying, you're a racist. No. Because it's cross-cultural now. There are not a lot of blacks that live in Jefferson County. It's not because we don't like them. It's just that a lot of folks live up in St. Louis, East St. Louis, places like that. So I'm only going to comment what I see in Jefferson County, Missouri. In Jeffco Mo, here's what you have. You have folks fornicating, which God said no, and they're producing children. And you have a woman who'll have 3 or 4 children in Jeffco Mo from 3 or 4 different guys. And she's raising these children because her man did her wrong. So she got another one. And she moved him into the house because he's a worthless deadbeat, because he doesn't have an $85,000 a year job and he doesn't have a nice house with a pool. So she's going to move him in with her. And she's going to drive him around town. I see that all the time. I see these pretty young ladies with these nice cars because she went to college and she made something of herself and she got a decent job and she's got a nice car she's making payments on, and she's got a bum for a boyfriend, driving him around town because he either lost his license or he doesn't have a car. Driving these guys around, bringing these guys into their house, and the guy he's something else. He's only with her for one reason and one reason only. And whatever he wants, he gets. And the kids that she has, he can't stand them, but he's going to stay there because of her. But he can't stand the kids, and so when he don't like them, he'll either beat them, or all of a sudden he starts looking at the girl. This goes on repeatedly in Jeff Como. I'm sure in your county there's a similar story. So it's not, well, that's how it is in black community or the Hispanic or this. No, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Weakening the nation because these kids grow up with mega problems. And they turn out pretty much the same way. It's weakened the country. And I could go on and on and on. Galatians, here's another one. This is out of the New Testament, then I'm going to move on. Galatians chapter 4, verse 8. Howbeit then, when you knew not God, you did service unto them which by nature are no gods. You remember this? But now after that ye have known God, or rather are known of God, how turn ye again to the weak and beggarly elements, whereunto you desire again to be in bondage? Look at us. Christianity left. Christianity, Bible-based Christianity, was a spirit in the heart of the American person saying, I want to be free. Christianity left. Witchcraft, elemental witchcraft comes in various forms. And look what it does. It makes people desire to be in bondage. Well, I think it's okay that they look at everybody's email because that'll catch the terrorists, and we don't want any more terrorists in America. We don't want that. I'm afraid. So you take away all of our rights and liberties and freedoms, and you take all that to here. Take our Bibles. You take everything. We don't care. You just keep us safe. And the Bible, God knew it, and He basically said, you change the religion of America, everybody is going to ask. They're going to ask to be in bondage. You know, maybe, you know, we have this scenario built up in our mind, and I just read the story about people being on a list. You know, we have this scenario in our mind that at some point they're going to declare martial law, and they're going to get all the guns, and there's going to be a big thing on here. What if it doesn't happen that way? What if America becomes so weak and under such dominion from evil powers? What if America asks to be placed under bondage? I think it's a real scenario. You know what? It may not happen that there's this big calamitous war in America where people are, I'm not giving up my guns, you cry for my cold dead fingers. It may not happen in that way. There may be such a bad spirit, a bad mojo on this country that people say, please keep me safe. Here's my Bible and my 38. Please keep me safe. Could very well be. I guess I need to talk about what I said I was going to talk about. Let me throw this in. My Canadian friend, sent me this one down. He said, hey, Mike, you got to read this one, Pope Francis drops a shocking bombshell. This is from Newsmax. June 11, actually, Newsmax.com. Pope Francis has acknowledged the existence of a gay lobby in the Vatican. It says he is consulting advisors on what to do. It's not a bombshell. If you've been reading anything about the Vatican, you know that these guys have been around. This is not explosive. These guys have been around for years, hundreds of years. Speaking informally to a confederation of religious groups from Latin America and the Caribbean. Every time my kids say, Dad, we got to see Pirates of the Caribbean, I say it's Caribbean. But that don't sound right. Pirates of the Caribbean doesn't sound right. I'm telling you, it's Caribbean. And he said, in the Curia, there are also holy people. Really, there are holy people. But, he added, there is a stream of corruption. There is that as well. It is true. The gay lobby is mentioned, and it is true. It is there. We need to see what we can do. What does the Pope mean that there exists a gay lobby within the Vatican? A lobby is a person or group of persons who advocate for a certain cause. In this case, a gay lobby can be nothing other than a group of gay bishops. See, that just doesn't roll off the tongue. Oxymoron. Stupid. Gay bishops. You've seen these memes These little posters on Facebook, things like that, you know, and they always end up with, said no one ever. And here's one for you. I'm gay, said no Christian ever. Write that one, make that one up, post that on Facebook. If you send it to me, I'll put it on the screen here, Pastor Mike Online. I am gay, said no Christian ever. While I'm shocked that the Pope would publicly admit this embarrassing reality, I'm not surprised this type of support for homosexuality is operating within the highest levels of the church. After all, during the entire 20th and 21st centuries, we have been forced to watch the horrific news stories of Catholic priests preying on young boys. That is homosexuality within the priesthood. If you'll go to chick.com, no, that's not a porn site, chick.com, Chick Publications, and get copies of the Alberto series, you'll find out where it comes from. Alberto Rivera was sent to one of these seminaries as a young boy. He was queered on while he was there. And he goes to the bishop over this boys' seminary and says, it's not a sin to, they sound like Rick Warren, it's not a sin to love someone. He was expressing God's love for you in the only way that he knew how. That's where it started. So these priests in these seminaries were doing this to one another. And then they got out there in their churches, and they get these boys in the confessional, and these 9, 10-year-old boys are telling, yeah, I stole 50 cents. Forgive me, Father, I stole 50 cents off my mom's dresser. Tell me what else you've been doing. Have you been watching anything on television you shouldn't watch? Yes. Well, tell me what that is. Have you been seeing things on the internet you shouldn't be seeing? Yes. Tell me what that is. Have you been having dreams? And the reason why I know this is that Charles Chiniquy, back in the 1800s, wrote a book called The Priest, the Woman, and the Confessional. And back then, he was describing it that these priests were going after all these young girls and these women in their parishes. And they were working them up for it in the confessional. That's what he was doing. Now they're going after the boys. Mother of Harlots, Mystery of Babylon. Mike, I appreciate you sending that to me. Superman, where are you? Where is Superman? Man of Steel. This is from, what website is this? themetro.co.uk. And it's British journalism, okay? Don't buy a tabloid in Great Britain if you don't want to see stuff, I can tell you that, okay? Man of Steel, top 20 reasons why Superman is Jesus. Number 1, he has a beard. Number 2, his dad has a beard. Okay. Number 3, he has superpowers. Now we're getting somewhere. His dad has superpowers. Number 5, his dad sent him to Earth to save humanity. Are you getting this? His dad sent him to Earth to save humanity. Apparently there is a quote out of the book, or out of the movie, he'll be a god to them. Now, the movie doesn't come out tomorrow. Till tomorrow, I probably will see it. I'll probably go look at it. And I'll admit to you, I'm a Superman fan since a kid. If you ask me what comic books I liked when I was a kid, get me Superman. That's all you gotta do. So I'm not much of a Batman guy. I definitely didn't read Marvel comics ever. Superman, he was my guy, man. But then, if you remember the movie Superman, the movie came out in the late 70s, and there's Lois Lane, and in the flying sequence. Part of the words to the song is holding hands with a god.